Members of the jury, this plaintiff seeks damages in this action, claiming that the injuries received were due to the negligence of the defendant in the manner of the operation of his automobile. Those of you who are experienced as jurors probably know that there are two cardinal things that must be proven by a plaintiff before that plaintiff can recover in a negligence action. First, it must be established here by a fair preponderance of the evidence that, that the injuries complained of came about solely through the negligence of the defendant. Secondly, it must be established by the plaintiff that the plaintiff was free from any negligence. If there is a failure of proof on those two subjects, the plaintiff cannot recover. On the subject of contributory negligence, I must instruct you that the law views contributory negligence where a child is involved as the actor in a different way than where a grown person or a person of mature years is involved. Usually, the view is that if a child has reached the age of 11 or 12 years, it is supposed to be old enough to take care of itself and exercise reasonable care or in using the street. But if a child is younger than that, this child having been about 6 at the time of the accident, then the law imposes upon that child only that degree of care in handling itself, which would naturally be attributed to a child of that age and that presumed intelligence and ability. So you must picture in your minds that at the time of the injury, this child was an infant of 6 years of age and only required to exercise that amount of care that a child of that age could reasonably be expected to exercise in the circumstances. This child testified that before leaving the sidewalk she looked, but that she had been instructed by her mother always to look to see if any vehicles were approaching before crossing the street. The law requires a person about to cross the roadway to look and see if there is any approaching vehicle, and if there is, either to stop and wait or to not in a reasonable way pass judgment if he attempts to cross, because as a matter of law it is not negligence for a person to cross a roadway even if a vehicle is approaching, provided of course that the vehicle is at such a distance away and acting in such a way that it would be judged to be reasonably safe. And it's hard to see. I've got to put that extra light in.